that all of you knows where this flag is from.
Sure. I know.
We are talking about North Korea. I'm here to introduce you about this country, and I would start with this sentence: nothing is impossible. And you will understand why I want to start with this. So, as I told you, I'm going to introduce you to this country and focusing on 4 points. Number 1, I will take you on a quick journey through North Korea's history and of his leaders. Number 2, we will talk about North Korea's citizens' conditions. Number 3, why the most powerful countries in the world don't care about it. And last but not least, why you should think more about it. But now let's focus on point 1. So let's go back in time in 1972. In 1972, the first member of the Kim family, Kim Il-sung, raised to the power. Of course, he was a dictator, so we can't say that it was a good time. But during his leadership, North Korea had a really good economic relation with the Soviet Union. And this gave to the country a high standard of living. And even if he was a dictator, we could say that in those years, the country was working until 1991. In 1991, Kim Il-sung's son, Kim Jong-il, raised to the power, and the situation got worse because the Soviet Union dissolved and the country's economy collapsed. And the situation got more worse, because Kim Jong-il introduced the military first policy. This policy, how can I say, means that all the extra money of the government was used to finance the military resource. But at the same time, people were starving. Most of the people in North Korea were starving because it's a really poor country with not enough food for everyone. And so every day people dies. But unfortunately, hunger is not the only thing which made North Korean dies. Unfortunately, this is the death sentence in this country is dramatically common, and it has begun to be more common since 2011, when Kim Jong-un raised to power. Kim Jong-un is Kim Jong-il's son. With him, we have an increasing of that sentence. Nowadays, in North Korea, you could die for watching the wrong movie, listening the wrong song, for falling asleep during the leader's speech, or for trying to escape to find a better life. And we don't know exactly how many people is executed every year, but over 2,000 are estimated. And many of them dies in the prison camps. In the North Korea's countryside, we have at least 7 or 8 prison camps, and over 180,000 people are imprisoned in those prison camps. And because of the military policy introduced by his father, many money is used to increase the prison camps. But the most of the money is used to finance nuclear weapons. Kim Jong-un said that he has enough nuclear weapons to destroy America. But we don't know actually if it's true, because we are talking about the best brainwasher in the world. All his leadership is based on brainwashing. And I'd like to give you just a quick and simple example. A few years ago, there was a soccer game between Brazil and North Korea. The final score was 2-1 for Brazil. But in the North Korean news, that score magically changed in 2-0 for North Korea. I know this is just a stupid example, but is enough to understand how his leadership works. But we were talking about nuclear weapons. He said that he has enough nuclear weapons to destroy a continent. And that's why the most powerful countries in the world just don't care about it, but because they say that they are scared by nuclear weapons. But in my opinion, I think that this is just an excuse, because North Korea is a really poor country. So poor country equals no resources. No resources equals no money. No money. No money equals no reason to do something. But I am not powerful enough to tell them what to do. So I'd like to focus on the fourth point of my speech. So why you should think more about it. Because maybe one day, maybe of course, mine are only hypotheses, maybe one day we could be allowed to go there for volunteering, or maybe one day they could be allowed to leave the country to find a better life and we could sustain them. And I'd like you to think more about that situation, because maybe one day you could do something for them and you won't hesitate. So, what we learned today. We know that North Korea is under a dictator's leadership since 1972. We know that it's a poor country with financial difficulties. We know that other countries just don't care about it. And we know that maybe in the future we could do something for them. Now, I'd like to show you a video, an extract of a speech of Yeonmi Park. Yeonmi Park is a 22-year-old girl who escaped from North Korea when she was 13, and she's dedicating her entire life fighting for human rights in North Korea. And I'd like to show you just an extract from one of her speeches.
Well, I just said a little prayer to my...
Sorry guys, some technical problems. Okay.
I have to do this because this is not I'm speaking. This is the people who want to tell the world what they want to do. Say, North Korea is an unnational country. There is only one channel on TV. There is no internet. We aren't free to sing, say, wear, or think what we want. North Korea is the only country in the world that executes people for making unauthorized international phone calls. North Koreans are being terrorized today. When I was growing up in North Korea, I never saw anything about love stories between men and women. No books, no songs, no press, no movies about love stories. There is no Romeo and Juliet. Every story was propaganda to brainwashes about the Kim dictators. I was born in 1993, and I was abducted at birth, even before I knew the words freedom or human rights. North Koreans are desperately seeking and dying for freedom at this moment. When I was 9 years old, I saw my friend's mother publicly executed. Her crime, watching a Hollywood movie, expressing doubt about the goodness of the regime can get 3 generations of a family imprisoned or executed.
I think that's enough to understand which is the situation in North Korea, and that's why I'd like you to think more about that. Because, as I told you, maybe one day we could do something for that and turn those faces in these faces. So, nothing is impossible. Thank you.